What's going on, guys? So we're doing the dash cam thing again. I had something while I have Brett here that I want to talk to him about. The whole Masvidal versus Nate Diaz fight. That press conference, a lot of people are disappointed because there wasn't much hostility between the two. There wasn't much smack talk. But in my opinion, that was expected, but the community wishes there was a little more animosity there. So I really wanted to get Brett's opinion on that.
Well, first of all, we are I think we're on the downtrend of the smack talk era of the UFC. We had, a 2 or 3 year period.
I wouldn't say the downtrend, but I think it's starting to blend with, It's blending in a little more.
That's true. You had about a 2 to 3 year period to where everybody was trying to do it. Obviously, Conor McGregor was the best at it, but then you just seen all these other fighters trying to do it, and then even people, uncharacteristic of them would do it. And now we've kind of settled, the dust has settled a little bit. Now we've kind of thought, oh, that's just the way, that's the new UFC.
Yes.
That's just the way it is. So you have these two fighters who've been around for 14, 15 years, both from, rough areas. You got Nate from Stockton, California. You got Jorge Masvidal from Miami-Dade County. Literally grew up fighting on the streets.
With Kimbo Slice's backyard, 17 years old.
Yep.
Back when he was called Ponytail and had the long hair like he did now, but a little more fluffy and long. So.
Yep. And then you got, Nate, who grew up with his older brother Nick, training jiu-jitsu. He was fighting.
Followed in his shoes.
Men, at 18. There's videos of him on the internet of, fighting underground fights, jiu-jitsu matches and stuff. So, I'm not surprised either that there was not a lot of trash talk because, first of all, Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal have never been huge trash talkers. They might trash talk in an interview, or they might say, I'm going to jack this dude up, or they might say this or that, but they've never been one to create a huge distraction and try to garner a lot of attention for themselves. So I wasn't that surprised. Not to mention, dude, they're both just they're like OGs, man.
They're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you disrespect them, you better know they're not even going to ask questions. They're going to try to fight you. We've seen behind the scenes, we've gone to jiu-jitsu matches where the Diaz brothers are fighting someone in the crowd because they're talking smack. They've gone into post-fight fights.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're just known to ask questions last and fight first. It's bred into them. But both of these guys have respect for each other, mad respect. And I felt like that was apparent when Nate Diaz called out Masvidal. And they both gave each other this is for us. We deserve the bag. Forget all these other people who don't deserve this. We've been around this game since it started pretty much. And, we are the future and the past of the UFC.
Well, and I'm a firm believer that, and if you're the best person in your sport, let everybody else tell you you're the best. If you're a real gangster like Nate and Jorge are, they don't go around promoting that. They that's just the way they are. You hear guys like Conor McGregor or other guys running their mouth trying to prove to the world how bad they are. It's like no one needs to. Nate and Jorge don't have to say that. Everybody knows that they're bad. Everybody knows where they come from. So, they're like the silent assassins. If you cross them, they'll jack you up, but they're not going to make a huge deal out of it.
Just look at the two. When they're fighting, they're like the headlines of all the media. But then when they're not fighting, they're gone. You don't even know where they are. They're not doing interviews. They're not talking. They just disappear from the planet Earth itself. And that goes to show that they put in, I don't want to say less effort, but they don't need to be tryhards to be seen and be noticed. Real respect's real. Real recognizes real. And I feel like that's why Masvidal and Nate Diaz are fighters,
Well, I think that they're real, genuine people to the core of them, and that's why they can't
They're
put
authentic,
on this. They can't put a fake smile, or they can't put on a fake trash talk, because that's not them. That's not them to the core. And they're so real and they're so authentic. They feel most comfortable in the octagon. They feel most comfortable. If I got beef with you, why even talk? Let's just go settle it and fight like men. And that's where they come from. And Jorge Masvidal's been doing that in the backyards and the octagon. Nate's been doing it, on the mat and now in the octagon. It's like this is like the pinnacle right now of watching a fun fight, because you got two dudes who are going to bring it. It's going to be a good fight. And honestly, they'll probably trash talk in the ring or in the octagon, because
playfully.
Remember when Nick Diaz fought Anderson Silva and gave him nothing but respect. Yeah. And then as soon as the fight started, he was laying on the mat and talking shit.
Holding his belly.
Yeah, I remember watching that fight, and I'm like, dude, you didn't say anything the whole time.
Great though.
That is awesome. Dude. It was awesome. I didn't like it at the time because I wasn't a huge Nick Diaz fan. Yeah. But, dude, as time grew on, now when I watch that fight, I just die every time because he was so respectful the whole time. And then as soon as it started, he just was trolling him. It was awesome.
All I know is Dana White could no longer say Nate Diaz is not a draw because this is going to be the second pay-per-view he's headlined that doesn't have a belt on the line. This one has the BMF belt that was created just for this fight. How awesome is that? But he fought Conor McGregor, and it broke records for their second fight, and there was no belt on the line.
Well, and the funny thing about the McGregor fight is everyone thought that it was all McGregor. Like, oh, this fight's huge because McGregor. And then it's like people finally realized post that fight, like, dude, Diaz is huge. And Dana White, after he beat Anthony Pettis, some press asked him, and he finally admitted. They go, is he on Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey? Is he up there? And he goes, yeah, he is. He's finally admitting that Diaz is a draw. And why he would never do it is because Diaz wasn't a company man. He wasn't an ass kisser. He wasn't begging him and trying to be buddy-buddy with him. He wasn't in his pocket like Conor McGregor was. And Dana White didn't like that, so he would never promote him. And he's always, in my opinion, had some kind of ill will towards both Diaz brothers, you know, and I think that it kills him inside to see them be so successful, but at the same time he's like, damn, this is making me money. Yeah, so it's like a love-hate relationship.
He has no control over it, you know what I mean? He can't control the beast, which is the Diaz brothers, and like you said, at this point there's not much he could do because the fans are speaking for them. The fans are saying, hey, this is what we want to see. We want to see the Diaz brothers fight, and it's sad because Nick Diaz pretty much quit fighting over it. You know what I mean? I don't even know if he's training. Like,
I don't think so. But I want to switch gears for a second and give props to Jorge Masvidal because this is a dude who is a stud, a journeyman, I mean, a perennial caliber top tier fighter for 15 years now, and he's just now getting out there. So I want everybody to give this dude some credit. Look up some of his old fights. Look up his YouTube fights in the backyard. I mean, this dude is a stud. And how we have went so long with Jorge Masvidal not getting any credit and fans not really enjoying him and loving him for who he is beyond me.
I've loved Masvidal for a really long time. I've always thought he was fun to listen to.
I love Masvidal too, man. And he is... he's a gangster, man. He's beaten everybody in the UFC that that everybody knows he's beaten him. And it's just awesome to see it coming to the pinnacle because I love both of these guys. And it does not bother me at all that they don't talk mad shit back and forth. I don't care.
I don't care either.
I like to see a good fight. I would rather it be this way and the fight be fireworks instead of the post-fight or the press conference be fireworks.
I don't want no ungenuine trash talk. You know, if these guys like each other and respect each other, I get what people are saying. Both of these guys fight better with a little edge, a little chip on their shoulder when they're a little pissed off. But they're not. You know, they're doing it. They're martial artists at the end of the day. You best know that they're going in there to take each other's heads off. If you think they're going in there to play patty cake and be friends, you're out of your mind.
I think it's a common misconception, too, in MMA that you have to hate your opponent to fight him. You know, like, this is these guys' jobs, you know. Jorge Masvidal would literally probably be watching SpongeBob and put his hair up in a ponytail and fight a dude in his backyard like it was nothing. I mean, these guys do this because it's who they are. They don't have to create some fake conflict or fake drama to get so mad that, oh, let's go fight now. Like, this is them. But I feel like it's manufactured from all these other fighters that's what people expect. They think there has to be some form of hostility for it to be a good fight.
Well, and we've seen the UFC use like controversy and trash talk as a way to promote a fight. And it does work a lot of the time. I don't know why, but it's human nature to like when two people really don't like each other and have disdain for each other. And it makes, like, they're already going in the cage to hurt each other, but like for some reason you're like, oh, now they really want to hurt each other. Like, no, they're fighting for their families, to put food on the table, for money. They already have their goals set. That little extra, if anything, just makes them a little more reckless in the cage, I feel like. I mean, that's what Conor McGregor uses that for. It's to get his opponent off their game. That's why he tries to make them mad. So I'm kind of happy they're both going in there fighting their game. They're not in each other's heads. We're going to see the purest form of both of them, and that's cool in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
I'm excited to see what this BMF belt's going to look like and if it's going to stick around. That would be cool. Like if they set up something where the fans vote.
Ooh, that would be cool.
To who fights next. Everyone's probably going to say Conor McGregor first because he got all the, nut huggers of Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Well, no, that he won't get the BMF belt. They'll give him a title shot just to come out.
He'll fight.
Come back and fight Khabib again.
Yeah,
so,
or Tony Ferguson, whoever wins that fight. But
I'd like to see. So we got Masvidal, Nate Diaz for the BMF belt. Really, those are the two guys that come to mind when I think of that. But as a close second, I'm trying to think of somebody who could fight the winner that has been around long enough that actually deserves, the title of a BMF belt. And it's someone that lives the life, not someone that talks it on screen, but legitimately to the core of them, that's who they are.
Bring back Hoist Gracie.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm super pumped about this fight.
But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the lack of aggression, hostility between these two fighters for the BMF belt. Does that bug you at all? Are you like the rest of these casuals who need some sort of smack talk back and forth? Are you plenty of happy with this fight in general? I am. I love all that it is as it is, and I think it's going to be an amazing fight, and I think it's going to break records and sell more pay-per-views. Dana White was actually saying he's doing an interview on Barstool podcast or something like that, and
he's on Barstool.
I think it was something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know what Barstool is?
Yeah.
So he was doing an interview on Barstool, and he was actually talking about that he has sponsors that he's never had come out of the woodworks and want to sponsor this fight and promote this fight. Yeah, so
that's awesome.
That just goes to show, like, it's not about titles; it's about fighters. Even there is a BMF title on the line.
Yeah.
But
it's the fighter. They make the fight, though. Those two do.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't put a BMF belt attached to it, I wouldn't care. I'd still be like, dude, this is a badass fight.
But anyways, that's it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.